it's me, Nina, and I'm back with another video for this week, and I'm doing something very different. I'm actually responding to my most viewed video of all time, and it's 4 years later, believe it or not. I can't believe how fast time passes. That video was on what dark-skinned people never tell you, and I was shocked at how much that video resonated with people at the time and how people related to it. And I thought I would do an updated video of how I ended up, I was gonna say how I learned to love my dark skin, because now I feel like I'm at a place where I love the skin I am in. And I just want to have a disclaimer here because I was actually surprised I never got this comment in my original video. Maybe I was like slightly more tan, maybe that's why, but here. And then there's parts of me that have been exposed to the sun that, like, I do acknowledge I am a medium to dark skin tone, and that there are people with darker skin tones than me who face like a whole nother level of prejudice and bias and whatnot. So I just want to acknowledge that, but I do still think, even as a medium to dark skin tone person, that I experience a lot of prejudice and bias as well, and just share my journey with how I ended up embracing more of who I am, in hopes of maybe if you're somebody who's not the ideal beauty standard in whatever way, whether that's, you know, you're like me, your nose is wide, maybe your eyes are, you know, small, maybe your skin is dark, or maybe your skin is too light, and you know, some people don't like that either. So whoever you are, I hope that me sharing my experience will be something that is encouraging for you, because it obviously, if you saw my first video, it took me a long time to really love the skin I'm in. So the first way that I really learned to love the skin I'm in and like learned to love my dark skin was getting rid of the weight of other people's opinions. And to this day, there are people in India who maybe their family has light-skinned people, and they will only marry other people who have light skin. And call it what it is, you know, people want to maintain their light skin because there is a privilege to having light skin in India. And maybe on some other scale, it could be people of light to medium skin tones. I'm marrying people of medium to dark skin tones, whatever. But whatever it is, people, that bias really does exist. But over the years, I've kind of like been freed when I really remind myself of this idea that I do not need anybody to like me. I care about people. I don't care about what they think of me. And that has been very freeing, and it's something I have to continually remind myself of, because I used to be the type of person where, let's say there's like a guy who like everyone thinks is cute, and you know, he doesn't think I'm cute, but like someone else or whatever, I would all of a sudden think like there's something deficient or wrong with me. Like, why am I not that person's standard of beauty? Like, why am I not good enough in their eyes? And then I just came to this realization that there are so many different people in the world, so many different likes and preferences and whatever, and I don't need that person to like me to feel worthwhile. I don't. And there are so many people in the world. Even with this YouTube channel, there are times where I think, man, am I just like do I not have the personality? You know, like there's a lot of funny people on YouTube. There's a lot of like, I don't know, like there's some people who are just like naturally so funny and like everything they say is hilarious. And I'm one of those people who's more like accidentally funny or like kind of silly when I get in a mood, but it's just not who I am all the time. And I kind of felt like, man, like I'll never find like a real audience because I'm not like that, you know? But I actually paid for a consultation with Natalie Barbu, and I will link her down below. You guys definitely probably have heard of her, although maybe not, because YouTube's weird like that. Like someone would have so many followers and then one sphere of the world knows them, but the other sphere has no idea who she is. But she basically, I paid for a consultation, and she told me that I don't need to like amp up my funniness or amp up my personality or anything like that, because there are so many people in the world on YouTube, and then there will be the people who want to watch me. And yeah, I think the same goes for our lives. Maybe not every single guy will think you're cute or like your personality or whatever, but there will be those few who do, and that's great. And honestly, even if you took, like there are times where I would have a friend or like a guy friend or a female friend, and I would think that they were like the best thing in the world. Like to me, in my eyes, they're perfect. And then this person would be like rejected or told they weren't good enough, or like experience something really awful in terms of romantic relationships. And it would be bewildering to me because to me that person was perfect, you know? And I think we're able to see other people more kindly and love them more than we are able to love ourselves. But just realizing that like not everyone is for you, and that's okay. And there will be people who have biases, and I still kind of like cringe when I like go around my neighborhood to like go for walks, especially during quarantine, because I live in a very white, or my parents live in a very white neighborhood, and there are so many racist dogs and dogs that bark at me like crazy just from the minute they see me. And I'm sure there's people who will see me and they'll automatically think I am not beautiful, maybe because of my skin tone, maybe because of my facial features, who knows, but that's fine. I don't need that person to think I'm beautiful. I don't need to change my opinion of my skin tone and who I am to be beautiful to everyone. That's just way too much of a weight to bear. I don't need everyone to even like me. I don't even need them to tolerate me, but I can act in love to everyone who I meet and remove that weight of like needing to be everything to everyone, and just being true and authentic to myself and who I am, and understanding that your vibe attracts your tribe, and I'm sure that I will attract the right people to me. And to be honest, I have like the best friends. Like I really do. I have such amazing friends in my life, and I'm so lucky. And I still feel that self-doubt sometimes, but I realize, you know what? My friends really love me for who I am. So I'm sure like whoever I'm meeting who's new, who doesn't know me, like maybe I want a new friend, if they're the right person and if my vibe is their vibe, then we'll become friends too. And if not, that's fine. But that's like my first tip, like just really removing that need for other people to like me or whatever. And my second tip is, now we are, and this is actually a tip I've heard so many times before, and honestly it's like so practical and so easy to really do, but we kind of control, I'm like trying to say how to phrase this. If you hear a song on radio the first time, for me personally, and I'm sure this is the same thing for other people, you might not love it, but it's okay. And then you hear it again and again and again and again, and all of a sudden you really love it because you're exposed to it constantly. And the same thing happens with us in media. We see certain faces over and over again portrayed as beautiful, or we see certain things in commercials or whatever, and we start to think that those people are beautiful because that's what we're shown. And there's actually like, there's psychological studies of even when we see people in our lives, they become prettier to us after we see them more often. So one thing I want to encourage you to do is change your Instagram feed, change your Facebook feed if you need to, and follow people who maybe look like you, who you think are beautiful. So if you're more of like a medium to large frame, or let's say you're a larger frame or you're a small frame, whatever it is, follow influencers who look like you so that you could see them owning their stuff, being proud of the skin they're in, and that can encourage you. And in terms of being for skin tone, there's like such a movement right now with people of medium to darker, or really dark skinned people, sharing their pictures of their beautiful glistening skin. And honestly, when I follow accounts like that, I look at my skin and I go, damn, like my skin is golden, it is glistening, it does not age, you know, like, and honestly I do think that if you have a darker skin tone, like you do age more gracefully. So it's just owning like, man, like this skin tone is gorgeous. It's not a deficit. It's not something that I need to like, my dad is like next to me and he's sleeping, so if you hear snoring, is my father. Dad! He's still snoring. Do you guys hear him snoring? Let's listen for a second. That's him snoring. Okay, but realizing that your skin is beautiful, and also being careful with that, because there are times where even like, this is kind of funny, but like my skin won't be as dark as those people, and I'm like, oh, I'm not like, this is kind of like what I feel like people who are mid-size feel like, the people who are like size 12 to 14. I'm size 10, so I definitely feel it, and when I lose weight I'm a little smaller, if I'm bigger, whatever. Right now I'm size 10. And you'll just feel like, man, I can't resonate with the really skinny people. I can't resonate with the people who are a lot bigger. And I can't, like, as the skin tone spectrum, like when I'm not in the sun enough, I like can't resonate with like the really beautiful, dark, golden melanated people. And then I can't obviously resonate with the white people or light skinned people, but it's realizing that's fine, you know. And I'm sure, like, to be honest, I know there's so many people who with my skin tone who have the same thing as me, who tan really easily and can be on such a spectrum with their skin, and we are entitled to our own struggles as well, regardless of what other people think or whatever else. And I want to leave you with one last thing, one last tip or way that I learned to really love the skin that I am in, to see how God designed me to be this way. And even with my curly hair, like right now it's super curly and I'm learning to embrace it, it's realizing, wow, curls retract against heat better. Wider nose is better for a humid environment. Darker skin tone is better for the sun. And yes, I do put sunscreen, I am safe and whatnot, but wow, like my skin is safer in the heat. And there's actually a video, like I wish I can find her page, if I can I will, but it is biologically advantageous to have darker skin, because if you have lighter skin you will burn in the sun, and if you have darker skin, of course you should put sunscreen, but even if I don't, I'm fine, because darker skin tones are able to survive in hotter temperatures as well as colder temperatures. So this person pointed out it is actually biologically advantageous to have darker skin. So darker skin actually is biologically something that makes you superior. We've just been used to seeing, like, and she pointed out how like you'll see people who are colonized and you're colonized people who are white, and when they would rape people from wherever they're from, those kids would be lighter skin tones, so then they were treated better, those kids. So we start to internalize this dialogue of like light skin's better, but literally biologically it is superior to have dark skin. And I'm made for a dark environment, and right now it's summer, so I'm thriving, loving the skin I'm in, and just realizing like a lot of these constructs and ways that we look at ourselves are made up. So especially with things like YouTube and the media that you're following, you can be a part of the conversation of changing that dialogue around skin color. So those are my points. I hope that you guys like this video. If you like this content, then hit the subscribe button and comment down below about your skin tone journey, like what you've learned over time, because I know we all come from different walks and different perspectives. And I also want to know what types of videos you want to see. I've been sharing a ton of vlogs, and I know I have a large percentage of people who watch me but aren't subscribed. So I want to encourage you, if you like this content, to hit subscribe, and I'm trying to create videos that you guys are interested in. So if you comment down below, I guarantee, like, if I get a couple comments, I will definitely make that video. And honestly, even when I've gotten one comment, I've made the video, as long as it's something reasonable. So comment that down below, stay subscribed, and if you resonate with my vibe and you want to be my tribe, then be a part of it, because I would love to connect with all of you. And I actually do connect with all my subscribers. I like message you guys, you message me. I feel like we're friends. So yeah, be a part of that if you would like to. And if I'm not your vibe or whatever, then it's okay. It's cool. I understand.